Hello and welcome to the Astro Vibe of the Week. I'm Shira and we are going to jump right into it, but not before I tell you where I've been because I have missed you so much. I have not made an astrology update video since the new moon in Sagittarius. So an entire moon cycle has gone by. First, I was on a very beautiful Tibetan Buddhist retreat where we also did Hindu mantras with Krishna Das, and we studied with Hindu and Tibetan teachers. It was so beautiful. And the day that I got back, I got absolutely demolished by this super flu that has been going around in the Massachusetts area. So I got absolutely smashed for about 11 days. I'm on day 12. My voice has regained. You might hear me sniffle or cough, but I am totally on the other side of it, getting stronger and better every day. But I absolutely had about 10 days of just like fever dreams and having time outside of time and not really knowing what was up from what was down. And here I am on the other side, a whole new year older because I went through my birthday portal and then right into that flu, which took me deep into my soul and into another time and space that I don't normally venture to. And here we are midway through January, about to come up on the Capricorn New Moon, which will take place on Sunday at 2:52 p.m. EST. So I'm so excited to get into the chart of the upcoming new moon with you. So it is January 18th, which is Sunday, and it is going to be at 2:52 p.m. EST. And the story leading up to this new moon is deep and calling for healing, calling for quite a bit of healing. That is because ahead of this huge clump of Capricorn energy that we are situated in right now, where we have Mars and Mercury, the sun and the moon, all in Capricorn. By the time we get to Sunday, we will have Venus in Aquarius, and shortly after, each of these planets is going to enter Aquarius and align with Pluto. But this entire week leading up, what we have ahead of this pack is Chiron at 22 degrees in Aries. And Chiron is making a challenging alignment with this new moon. It is a loose square, but it is still a square. And anytime we have a 90-degree angle, which shows up in the chart as a red line, just like this, we have got a little bit of like grinding sort of tension energy. At the same time that we have this tension energy, we also have a supportive alignment from Uranus, the planet of change and transformation. And we also have a supportive alignment with Saturn and Neptune on this new moon. So there's a lot of layers going on. Yet, first and foremost, we are going to explore the story of our relationship in our own birth chart to where Chiron in Aries sits. So Chiron in the zodiac wheel is the wounded healer, the asteroid that represents the wounded healer. And this is the story of a great healer, medical, psychological, a centaur named Chiron, who was known to heal the heroes of his time until he got shot with a poison arrow, and learned that though he could heal everyone around him, he always had this wound from the poison arrow. He was unable to completely heal himself. So the Chiron archetype in our own chart represents the part of us that we are on a lifelong journey with, of healing and connecting with, and more than like healing in the sense of fixing, it's really about coming into wholeness and acceptance with this part of ourselves. Now, Chiron in Aries, now everybody has an Aries area in their birth chart, and you want to be really acquainted with it because Saturn and Neptune are about to venture into Aries, and we're about to go on a brand new mission of this archetypal forward leader energy that is going to call us up to the next evolution of our growth, because Aries wants what is best for the self and demands quite a bit of momentum and demands quite a bit of growth. But before we get to that new story, that new chapter of momentum and massive change and transformation, there's something that is needing to be held with love and understanding, acceptance and support that is already within us, where we may be criticizing or judging or wishing that we were ahead of where we are. And what happens when you wish or critique where you are and you feel like you should be farther ahead, or you feel like you should already have XYZ accomplished, is that you end up being in a spiral of non-growth, and instead you plug into the frequency of judgment. If you're judging yourself and you're feeling like you're not ahead enough or where you should be by now, I'm using air quotes if you're not watching this video, then you're going to be participating in the frequency of holding yourself back and holding yourself back in criticism and judgment. And all that is going to do is create a deeper wound. So what this Chiron in Aries asks of us, especially as we lead up to this new moon in Capricorn, which is the moon of goal setting, long-term building, slow and steady growth, what this week asks of us is actually to celebrate how far we've come so far, and to look back before we go forward to just how much we have accomplished and just how much we've grown while we were in the year behind us. Like, we're just in the beginning of 2026, but we're still in this closure energy of 2025 because of where Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron are. None of them have changed positions just yet, and we're still encapsulated in this frequency of letting go of energies that are harmful to our ability to experience wholeness and connection with our soul and with our growth and with the next part of our story. So I want you to see yourself like the hero in your story, because you absolutely are the number one hero in your story. You are also all the other characters and the director and the writer and all the parts of your story, but just see yourself for this one moment as the hero of your story. And I want you to think about what this hero archetype that is you has had to overcome in order to get where you are right now while you're watching this video. What have you had to move through? What have you had to understand from a different perspective? What new stories have you had to find meaning in order to be able to get where you are right now? And can you celebrate all of the wins that you've already had? Chiron leading the pack here for this new moon, Chiron in Aries, asks us to reflect back at ourselves. That's Aries, it is the self, and see how well we have already done. See what we can already celebrate. See what we have already accomplished in the last part of our journey, and not dismiss ourselves or dismiss our growth. Now, what happens often with Capricorn, the shadow of Capricorn, is that it's always looking for this next big thing. It's like, okay, I accomplished that and now I need to get to the next thing. I accomplished that and now I need to get to the next thing. And it is always looking forward. It is always looking ahead. It always wants to do better and better and better. And it very, very rarely takes the time to pause and reflect on how far it has already come. So I beg of you, and this sky is begging of us to reflect on how far we've already come before setting the next goals and rushing ahead into this fire horse energy that's coming in February, and this Saturn, Neptune, and Aries energy. It's coming whether we like it or not, so we don't really need to get ahead of it. That's not really how this kind of energy works. What this cosmic setup is asking of us right now is to look within ourselves and to ask ourselves what it is that we have already accomplished, we can already celebrate, we already have enough wins of this thing, we're already whole in this way. And then B, it asks us, and this is going to be a little bit radical, is what do you not want? Yeah, that's a radical view, because normally, especially in conscious language work and spell work that we do in the process that I teach, abracadabra astrology, we're always looking at language. But it's really important to look at what don't you want and use the things that are showing up in your life right now that you don't like, that don't seem aligned, that use those things as barometers to where we do want to hold ourselves at a higher standard. Because if there's things that we're looking around in our life and we're not liking them, they don't meet our standards, yet they are here with us right now in reality, in now time, in this frequency, it means that we're saying yes to them. That even though there's part of us that knows that these certain things in our lives are not up to our standards, and I am not talking about, I have to pay rent and I don't like that. We know that's not what what I'm talking about. I'm more talking about, it could be external things like the place that you live. It's not exactly what you want, or the work that you have isn't exactly what you want, or something so silly as this. Maybe you have a laptop that's like slow and it's annoying for you. Like when you look around your space and your life, you can see what it is that you like and can feel super grateful for, and what it is that you don't like. And after doing a little reflection on that, oftentimes we realize that the things that we don't like, we end up settling for them. And that is what Capricorn asks us to reflect upon. Where can we ask more of ourselves in our lives? Where can we commit to something that is greater than what we have now, while still being grateful for what we have, and while still being appreciative of what we have? We can still seek beyond what we have without feeling guilty for what it is that we want. This Capricorn energy asks us to be super honest about what we're willing to commit to in order to have the kind of life experience that we actually want, instead of settling for what we don't want. And this is kind of tough medicine, even like for myself to reflect back on. I'm really sitting with this idea of, in order to live the lifestyle that I really desire, it's going to require that I take different actions every single day. And just wanting something doesn't necessarily mean that I am even deserving of it. Because in order to be deserving of it, I need to be that kind of person that takes the actions of the thing that I want and says yes to what I truly deeply want in my heart of hearts, and then I go all in on it. That's Capricorn energy. What are you willing to go all in on? What are you willing to commit to? Because if you're not willing to commit to it and you're not willing to go all in on it, usually nothing changes if nothing changes, and things just keep staying the same over and over and over again. But before we are whacking ourselves with a stick on the back, which I don't want anyone to do, because that would be the Capricorn shadow, is just beating yourself up for where you are. That's not where we're going. We want to look back and remember that Aries Chiron. We want to celebrate all the wins that we've had so far, and then be honest about where we are and ask ourselves, okay, all right, self, whom I love so much, and my dear heart, whom I love so much, and my soul, who I love so much, and I'm open and connected with you, my dear soul. Connecting with your heart, connecting with your soul to get into the vibration of what am I truly willing to commit to in this next chapter of my life. Forget 2026, forget the fire horse. What in this next chapter of my life, because my growth is not linear. I'm on a cyclical journey. I'm slowly rising. I have patience and compassion for myself on this journey. What am I truly willing to commit to in the actions that I'm going to take and the kind of thoughts that I'm going to think that are going to get me closer to where I want to go? I know that I can't just snap my fingers and get exactly what I want, because I am not a crybaby silver spoon kid. I know that my actions and my thoughts and my vibration are what take me into more alignment with what I deeply want. And to be really honest about what it is that I want and how it is that I want to feel every day, and what I'm willing to do in order to feel that way every day. It ain't sexy, but it is. Capricorn is not the sexiest of the sign because it's about commitment. It's about loyalty. It's about sacrifice, because in order to move the barometer towards what we want, we need to stop doing certain things. So that's why I say we got to be honest about what we don't want, and then look in the mirror and say, are you doing the things that are keeping these things that you don't want in your life? And the answer most usually is yes, because we are 100% the creators of our reality. I know it's so annoying that we have so much sovereignty, but it's also so fabulous that we are the ones that are in control of our lives, and no one outside of us is going to save us. That is so Capricorn, and it is also so Aries. So there's this conversation between Capricorn and Aries that says you get to commit to yourself in this lifetime. This is why you were born. This is your incarnation. That's why the astrology looks like this during this part of your life, so that you can commit to yourself in this incarnation in a completely new way. Because we need you collectively in order to rise up all together. So for this new moon that's happening on January 18th, we have actually the support of Chiron and the support of this healing energy of how far we've come and how worthy we are for taking the next steps, and the reminder that we are whole and that we're not here to beat ourselves up or to over critique ourselves or over analyze ourselves or just look at the negative. We are here to connect to our truth, to align with our soul, and to live courageously. And living courageously, that's Aries, means that even if you're scared, even if you don't know the next step, even if you feel like it's not going to be good enough, air quotes, enough, the only way forward is to take a step. The only way forward is to take action. And that is Aries and Capricorn having a conversation together on this new moon. Now, on this new moon, with this Capricorn stellium of the moon, the sun, Mercury, and Mars, the planet of action, which is ruled by Aries, by the way. So we have so much of this Aries integrity, this Aries, like, we're not bullshitting around right now. We're getting down to business, and we can really feel the edge of this Aries push. We also have support in a trine of the planet Uranus. Now, Uranus brings breakthroughs and downloads and realizations, and Uranus helps the energy move faster. Now, Uranus has been in Taurus for a long ass time, and later this year, Uranus will move into Gemini, and that's when we get into this really higher frequency energy. But right now, Uranus in Taurus is asking us about what needs to change in the material realm of how we do things. Not so much in our thoughts, but in our actions and behaviors. Because Taurus, an earth sign, is also about action that we take. And Taurus really endures. And of all the zodiac signs, when Taurus works for something or is working through something, it does not give up. It keeps going. It will not quit. Taurus will not back down. That is why we say it's like bull-headed. It is, a fixed sign. It does not give up. It does not quit. And so we have this Uranian, Aquarian sort of brilliant energy on what we will not give up, on what we will not just give up on, because we believe in the mission and we believe in the outcome. Now, for the earth energy, Capricorn and Taurus and Virgo, these signs, this element that's alive and well right now in the sky, asks you why you are here. What is the purpose of your life in terms of the action that you're willing to take in order to be a part of making the world a better place? When we're talking about Capricorn and Taurus, it's like, how can I serve? How can I serve the collective? What is it that I can do every single day, even if it's just like hold the door open for somebody, make eye contact with somebody on the street, say a kind word to somebody in the grocery store, be the freaking light, be generous, buy a coffee for someone in front of me in the line. What is it that I can do every day that gives me just a little bit more like meaning and purpose, so that I remember that I am here as an integral part of humanity, here to make the world a better place. It doesn't have to be on a huge epic scale, because energy is so contagious. And when you do one little sweet thing for somebody, that carries with them into the whole next part of their day, and then they usually pass it on. And these earth signs have this ability to really show up for humankind, to be generous, and to commit to making the world a better place. So I just want you to reflect on how you get to show up in your life and how you are making the world around you a better place, just by little day-to-day actions, these earth-oriented actions. So part of this new moon story is we're learning in the physical, in the everyday material realm that has to do with the actions we take. We're learning what kind of actions and behaviors we need to take in order to align with the kind of life we really want. It's really in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, it's about, who do you want to be? Like, how can living this life for you make you proud of you? That's another Capricorn theme, to be able to say, I'm really proud of myself because this is what I did. These are the actions I chose to take. Whether or not you win or lose, We're not interested in that. It's I gave it a go. And that's why I'm proud of myself, because I tried. I put one foot in front of the other, and I just gave it a go. That's it. I just gave it a shot. So, what are the actions that you're willing to take in order to get where you want to go? And how can you celebrate yourself for how far you've already come, Aries Chiron? And how can you connect to this energy of I'm already whole? There's nothing I need to fix. There's no more better that I need to be. I'm already perfect enough. I'm already whole enough. And how do I want to serve the world from this space? So for this new moon, this Capricorn new moon, with all this like earth, stick to it, you got this, you can do it, sturdy energy, empowering energy, slow steps towards a greater good. When you write out your intentions for this cycle, think about your intentions with the underlying theme of how are these intentions supporting the greater good? And I'm going to flip your mind for a second, because let's say you want to go on a retreat, okay? I'm hosting, just quick shameless spotlight on this retreat I'm hosting in May in Nicaragua. It's going to be astrology, mysticism, meditation, and yoga over the ocean on it. This gorgeous cliff, so Capricorn. We'll surf. We're going to do catamaran rides. It's going to be so beautiful. One might think to themselves, how is going on a retreat, if I go on a retreat, how is that serving the greater good? How is that serving humanity? Doing something that lights you up and brings joy to your heart is the number one best way you can serve humanity. Because when you shift your energy and you get yourself into the state that feels good for you, you literally are changing the morphic field of humanity. We are all connected in this morphic field of energy. That's why, if you've ever heard of the 6-minute mile, the first person to run the 6-minute mile, no one did it before. And then the second it happened, like 5 more people immediately ran a 6-minute mile. And then someone did a 4-minute mile. It had never happened before, ever. Nobody thought it could be done. And the second it got done, boom, 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 boom. 5 more people did it in a row. That's because one person changes the entire morphic field for humanity with their frequency. So when you do something that lights you up, always know that you are impacting the energy around you. Same goes for the flip side. If you're going to be cranky and angry, you're in the cranky, angry morphic field. And you can flip it with gratitude, and you can flip it by doing something that's going to get you to change your state. Now, what is it that you can do, that you can commit to, that you can intend, you can put your energy into, you can put your intention into, that is for you, but ultimately is for the good of humanity? Because when you lift one person up, especially yourself, you make an impact on all of humanity. And you show others that it can be done. And you become the outlier, which is what Aries, this new Aries time, when Saturn and Neptune shifts into Aries, it's going to be all about that. At the frontier, ahead of the collective. Your soul connection with your truth, that is only your truth, is going to be the thing that actually makes humanity a better place when you follow and connect to that soul within you. So I'm going to close it here and give you that green light on joining me in Nicaragua. And I'm going to share my screen with you and show you where we're going. I am over the moon about this. I did so much deep meditation to align with what exactly is most needed during 2026 And what really called me was this heart connection and this spirit connection. So it's the heart and spirit renewal retreat where we are going to deeply connect with our heart space and what it is that our soul craves and needs in this lifetime. The retreat center is set literally on the beach. You can see it right here over cliffside. There are 8 cabanas. Every single cabana has an ocean view. These are the views. This is the view from the yoga deck. Everyone that comes gets included a complimentary massage. We are going to take a surfing lesson, have quantum meditation on the beach. This is what the room looks like. There's a little day bed. Each room is shared, so you can bring a friend, or we'll find you someone, or you could do a private room, but check out that view. That's the ocean right there. We've got our own little private pool. And really, this is for people who want to make a change in their lives, that they're going to go home feeling filled up, lit up, excited about life, and more clear on what exactly the next steps are in their life when you go back home. So we're going to get you really connected to the quantum field, really connected to your soul. We're going to do practices that help us be in deeper communication with our true selves and with our soul, so that you can just like hit the ground running in this 1 year, and as we get into these new Saturn and Neptune and Aries energies. Everyone will also bring their birth chart, and we'll be doing birth chart guidance and Q&A, and you're going to have like-minded souls with you there that are totally here to celebrate you and change the quantum field, change the morphic field of the world together. So you can find it. I'll leave a link below for it. It's sherbrenner.com, and that's happening at the end of May 23rd to the 29th of 2026. Shoot me a message or save your spot on the link tree. It's only like $5.55 to save your spot. So a really awesome, I think, deposit price. And that's it. Have a beautiful new moon. I'm excited to be in this 1 year numerology energy with you, and to keep showing up and connecting with you on deeper levels and more heart-centered levels. So have a beautiful new moon, and I'll see you on the other side.